You know, every single piece of electronics you own, from a simple calculator to your super powerful smartphone, is built around a printed circuit board, a PCB. But here's the thing. What looks like just a simple green board is actually the answer to a huge engineering question. Do you build it simple, like a one-story house, or do you make it complex, like a skyscraper? Well, that's the real difference between a single-layer and a multi-layer PCB, and that's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
And trust me, this is not just some boring technical detail. This one choice, one layer or many, is going to directly control your project's cost, how big or small it can be, and ultimately how well it performs. It is the classic trade-off, and once you get it, you'll see exactly why some gadgets are cheap and simple, while others are incredibly powerful and compact.
All right, so first things first, let's start at the very beginning. What exactly is a printed circuit board?
Think of a PCB as a perfectly planned city for all the tiny electronic components. It's basically a flat, rigid board that gives a physical home to all the chips and resistors, and then it connects them all with this network of copper roads that we call traces. It's the thing that turns what would be a total mess of wires into a clean, super efficient system that you can mass produce.
So every single PCB, no matter how simple or complex, is made of these four key parts. You've got the substrate, which is like the fiberglass skeleton that gives the board its strength. Then there's the copper layer, that's the nervous system carrying all the electrical signals. The solder mask is that classic green coating you see. Its job is to protect the copper. And finally, the silkscreen, which is just the ink with all the labels, kind of like the street signs for our little electronic city.
Okay, now that we've got the basics down, let's meet our first contender, the single-layer board. And really, its whole story is right there in the name. It's all about simplicity.
This is, hands down, the most basic design you can get. You take your fiberglass board, you put a single sheet of copper on one side for all the connections, and then all the components get mounted on the other. It's just beautifully simple. What you see is exactly what you get. There are no hidden layers, no extra complexity at all.
And you know what? That simplicity leads directly to some pretty big advantages. Because there's only one layer to deal with, they are incredibly cheap and really fast to make. Designing them is pretty straightforward, and if something goes wrong, fixing it is a breeze because every single connection is right there on the surface for you to see.
But, of course, here comes the catch. That simplicity, it's also its biggest weakness. With only one layer, your copper pathways, those traces, can't cross each other. Just imagine trying to design a city's road system with zero overpasses or tunnels. It's a huge limitation. It means your circuits can't be very complex, which in turn forces the board itself to be physically bigger just to fit all the sprawling paths.
So where do you actually find these things? Well, think of any simple, mass-produced electronics where cost is the absolute #1 factor. Things like pocket calculators, basic power supplies, kids' toys, simple LED light strips, they all run on single-layer boards because the circuit is simple and saving every last penny really matters.
All right, now it's time to meet our second contender. And if the single-layer board is a simple one-story house, then the multi-layer board, well, it's a high-tech skyscraper, packing an incredible amount of power into a really small space. A multi-layer PCB takes that basic structure and, quite literally, stacks it. It's made by sandwiching multiple layers of copper and insulation together, which creates this incredibly dense, three-dimensional network for connections. This is the secret to how you get amazing complexity in a tiny space, because the circuits aren't just running on the surface anymore, they're running deep inside the board itself.
And the structure is absolutely key here. You still have your top and bottom layers for components. But now, sandwiched in between, you have dedicated inner layers. Some of these are for carrying complex signals, while others can be entire sheets of copper used just for distributing power and ground. This internal routing is really the secret sauce to their power and performance.
And the benefits? They're huge. You can pack a mind-boggling amount of complexity into a tiny, tiny space. This is exactly why our smartphones can be so powerful yet so thin. Plus, that layered structure, especially with those internal power and ground planes, dramatically improves performance for high-speed signals and helps cut down on electronic noise.
But as we all know, there is no such thing as a free lunch in engineering. All that amazing complexity comes at a price. Multi-layer boards are way more expensive. They take much longer to manufacture, and they are a lot more difficult to design correctly. Oh, and if a connection breaks on one of those inner layers, yeah, you can pretty much forget about repairing it. You will find these high-performance boards in pretty much every single piece of advanced tech today. Your smartphone, your laptop, the complex electronics running modern cars, and even life-saving medical devices. They all completely depend on the density and power you can only get from multi-layer PCBs.
Okay, so this brings up a pretty important question. If you have all these separate floors in your electronic skyscraper, how do the signals actually travel between them? The answer is a tiny but absolutely vital component called a via.
Vias are basically tiny, conductive elevators for electricity. A through-hole via is like the main elevator shaft. It goes from the top floor all the way down to the bottom. A blind via is more like an express elevator. It connects an outer layer to a specific floor somewhere inside. And then you have a buried via, which is like a secret service elevator that only connects two internal floors, completely hidden from the outside.
All right, so we've met both types, we've seen how they're built. Now let's put them side by side to really hammer home the differences.
This chart really lays the whole trade-off bare. Just look at the direct relationship here. When complexity goes up, so does the cost. It's a straight line, but in return for that higher cost, you get to shrink the physical size and dramatically boost the performance. You simply cannot get the compact design and raw power of a multi-layer board without paying for it, both in money and in design effort. It's a classic engineering balancing act.
And when we talk about performance, this is exactly what we mean. For things like signal integrity, which is just keeping your signals clean and error-free, and for controlling electromagnetic interference, or EMI, which is basically just unwanted electronic noise, multi-layer boards are worlds better. Those internal ground planes act like built-in shields, creating a much more stable and electrically quiet environment for everything to operate in.
So that brings us all the way back to our original question. Now that we have all this information, how do you actually choose the right PCB for your project?
The decision really just comes down to your project's main priorities. If your circuit is simple and your absolute top priority is keeping the budget as low as humanly possible, then the single-layer board is the obvious, smart choice. But the second your design needs to be compact or complex or handle high-speed data, you pretty much have to invest in a multi-layer board. The performance just demands it.
And that, right there, is the heart of it all. It is never about one type being universally better than the other. It's always about the specific engineering problem you're trying to solve. You are constantly balancing the performance you need against the real-world constraints of cost, size, and time.
So the next time you pick up a new piece of tech, you'll know the fundamental choice that was made right at its core. Was it designed to be a simple, functional one-story house? Or was it meant to be a complex, powerful, high-tech skyscraper? Now you have the framework to understand exactly why.